We're back. Make some noise, people. We're back. Make some noise. Make some noise. Okay. We have an amazing panel next. Is the future of business in South Africa. And joining us on this panel, we have Costa Hambakis from VITA24, CEO of VITA24, and
Nadia Nakai.
Nadia Nakai. Make some noise, guys. Make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise. There you go. Fantastic, fantastic. Welcome to the show. Fantastic. All right, so we're going to start from the very start. We'll start with you, Nadia. Talk to us a little bit about your career so far and your businesses here in South Africa.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having a very good day. So I go by the name of Nadia Nakai. I'm a musician. I'm a reality TV star, and I've started doing business. I've been able to leverage my name, my networking, my relationships in order to start something that I'm very passionate about, which is Braga Cosmetics, Naked Without. We do have a stand over there, so please
Braga
just pop
Cosmetics
in
are just right
when
there.
you do get a chance. Yeah, but yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Now, Costa, tell us a little bit about yourself and your brand as well. Oh, you just.
Hello, everybody. So, about the brand, my name is Costa Hambakis. I'm the founder of VITA24, vitamin booster. It's the only vitamin booster that's got a full dose of vitamins inside. In today's times, everyone's in a hurry and a rush, and the world just keeps spinning. So what a better place to walk into a retail store and buy a vitamin booster that's got everything inside instead of trying to go into a pharmacy and try to buy everything individually.
Definitely, definitely. I love that. We're talking about the future of business, but let's talk about when you guys started your business, because you got Braga Cosmetics, you got VITA24. How challenging was it to start a business, and how challenging was it to make it profitable and to make it stay profitable? I'll start with you and then go to Costa.
I find it very challenging. I think a lot of people that are known in certain media spaces, including myself, assumed that the business was just going to take off. Yeah. Then I had to learn, no, I need them to believe in my product that is not necessarily attached to me. I want them to believe in the foundation and the highlighters, and I need to be able to sell that. So like with my business, it is self-funded. So I started very small. I went directly into store because I thought that's exactly what needs to happen, and it didn't do as well. I find online is actually working a lot better for me, surprisingly, because I have foundations. I would like to color match. But there's a lot of learning curves that I went through with this business. I had to bin a lot of stock because, guys, makeup expires. So if you don't, so I can't sell makeup that's got an expiry date, so I had to bin a lot of stuff, and that was a bit painful, but I know that they always say, in the first year of your business, if it doesn't fail, then it might make it. Yeah. So I'm holding on, hoping it's going to make it, because I've passed that year mark, but I constantly keep learning. It's not like I'm supported by a huge conglomerate that's before I'll just kind of white label my name on certain things and have that churned out. Really, I'm involved in the branding, the manufacturers, the price points, the actual quality of the products, which is so exciting for me, honestly, but it is a lot of work.
And you actually raise a very important point. It's very important. A lot of celebrities just put your name on products, right? You've actually decided to kind of be day-to-day involved in building that business. Do you say that's the most reason why it's been successful, because you're actually day-to-day involved in every single aspect of it, rather than just putting your name on a white label?
I mean, putting your name on a white label, there's a lot of benefits with that, because most likely there's already an engine that is very successful. I had a clothing brand with Sports Scene, which is very well known. They have stores all over the country. So already I was in 24 stores immediately from the jump. Whereas with my makeup brand, it's a lot harder. I want to be able, I've started out, so I wouldn't say I'm at success yet, but I'm on my way there. And I have aspirations for my brand. I want to be able to open a store one day and have it really Naked Without and branch out, and then maybe go to the UK and be in Selfridges one day. So I have certain pillars that I want to get to. But honestly, I feel like the rewards of working on a business that is solely yours, your blood, sweat, and tears from the beginning, is so much more rewarding for me, I think, in the long run.
I hear that. I hear that. Very rewarding in the long run if you put your own strength, mindset, and everything to it. Yeah, no, go for it. Go for a clap. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Come on, guys. Yes. Costa, Vita 24,
Yes.
right? So first and foremost, what challenges did you face launching it? I remember we were talking about this, and I said, we were involved with vitamin water at the early stages in the UK, in the US, for 50 Cents and everybody else. So what challenges did you face launching Vita 24 here? And, how successful do you see it becoming as well here in the marketplace?
Well, the first thing you need to have in your own brand is passion. You got to have love for your brand.
Yes.
And that gives you the drive to be able to get up in the morning and go to work and push your brand. The big retail stores won't take your brand. That's the biggest challenge, because you love your brand and your brand is good because you say so. At the end of the day, you got to look at products at what the consumers want.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I could give any advice, if you want to go in from manufacturing right up to retail, you got to start small.
Yeah.
But you got to drive it. You got to take bottle for bottle or perfume for perfume. You need to understand that in order for you to get onto that shelf, it means somebody else is going to lose that space.
Yes.
Right? So the challenge is to keep your product on the shelf, test it in the market, make sure consumers love it, and you must be ready that one day you're going to start playing where the big players are, and they won't let go of their shelf space that easy. So you need to make sure your product's good.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, totally makes a lot. Give it up. Give
Yeah.
it up.
Let's
Yeah,
clap.
Vital 24.
That's true. It's true. Yeah.
And so I don't have a business, right? But I want to start, right? Because this is the future of business. So it means that most of us are thinking about starting a business or just starting something out, right? And how do I go about that? What mindset should I have? Well, product-wise, and what market should I be going into? Where should I be looking? How do I set myself up for success when I want to start a business? Nadia?
I think the first question you have to ask yourself is what you're interested in. What is your passion? Because it's not about just starting a business in what? What do you enjoy? Because you have to, one, love your product, but you also have to be very passionate about it, because when you're an entrepreneur, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's 24/7, 365 days. There's no sleep. So at least it has to be something that you enjoy. So one, understand what your passion is. Is there a need for it in the market? Do you think there's a space for it in the market? Would you be able to fill up market share, or is it already saturated? Because let me tell you, makeup, the competition is tight. There's a lot of amazing makeup brands that are out there internationally and locally, but I have a passion for it, so therefore I will have to figure out how I can sell this to people in a different way. So I think that's extremely important. I think the semantics, Costa would be able to tell you more about, like, register your business, girl, get a name and patent it, because somebody go steal it, get a website now. You know what I mean?
No, I
Stuff
love
like
that. I love that. I mean, I think you mentioned, Costa, about focus groups. You didn't say focus group, you said test the product, and I put it to focus groups. And this is a question to you both, Costa, you first, and then Nadia. How important is focus groups? Because you can start a business or start a product, and you give it to your brother, your cousin, your uncle, mom, dad, and they're like, of course, it's fantastic. Dad's not going to say it's horrible. It's like, this tastes great. It's the best thing since sliced bread. However, how important is it to test it to total strangers? How important is it to go to the marketplace, focus group, pick up a target audience, because you need to know what your audience is. Well, you need to know whether it's a 16 to 34-year-old product, 18 to 50, 16 to 9. You need to know. How important is it to really do focus groups to understand your audience and to understand that this product can work in the marketplace? Costa, and then you, Nadia.
So I would think that the right approach is you identify who your audience is, firstly. Then you need to work around your environment in your circle that you move around. So if you've got a product that's going to go into a retail store like a spa, for example, you will go to your local spa where you know the owner, you've been shopping from there for I don't know how long, and you'll say, I'd like to test this at this shelf, and that shelf, or this fridge, and that fridge. And from there, you will actually sit around and do promotional tasters to consumers. The biggest trick here is that you really need to know what you're talking about.
I think you should repeat that again, because there's two things you've said there that's very important. Promotional is product sampling. So you need to be able to, because you can't just say to someone, that's a nice drink or that's a nice mate. You need to get them to test the product and use it as a customer and then give you feedback, right?
Right. So the biggest misconception that a lot of marketing people do is they assume that the consumer doesn't know anything about anything.
Right.
So if you're going to say that your product has A, B, and C inside, and it comes from this plant or that plant or from the ground, make sure you're correct with your information.
Right.
Because consumers aren't what they used to be before. And that's how you start getting your product out. So if your product is liked, they're going to ask you, where do we buy it from? So your first point is you're going to buy it straight out of the spa. And from there, the biggest trick in selling a product into a retail store is not your sales in, which means it's not how much stock you can give to the store. It's your sales out, and that's where the balance needs to be. Sales in is equal to sales out.
Sales in. Do you want to explain that again? Explain that again. Sales in and sales out.
So sales in means the shop owner buys your product in. Sales out is what the consumer buys. If you can't get that in a balance, there's a problem. So you can sell a million bottles because you know the owner. The trick is to be able to sell out the shop 1 million bottles as well.
Because then they will order more.
Correct.
Fantastic. Nadia, what do you think of focus groups, and how important is it to kind of sample, test, product place, and make sure you have an audience that has sampled the product?
So for me specifically, I didn't really do focus groups, but I did more seeding products. So seeding product to influencers, but mainly what was important for me was seeding product to the makeup artists. So the ones that are actually on the jobs, the ones that are at the TV production houses, the ones that are shooting the music videos, giving them product for them to test before I dropped and give me feedback on what they thought and what they thought didn't really work and why they felt my product was better than another one, and kind of compared it, because makeup artists in their makeup bags have brands all over the place. They're from Fenty to Revlon to everybody. So I thought it's better to get feedback from the makeup artists.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And so, okay, I said I don't have a business. Now I do have a business. So everybody here, or most of them, I do have a business, but my business is not doing so well. I feel like I've done everything. I've exhausted every single marketing, everything. So now that I do have a business and I feel like it's failing, how do I get back? Like, how do I fix it? What is it that I need to look at in order to make sure that I'm on the right path again? You get what I mean, Costa?
So I would say you need to go back to your business to when it was flourishing. And then identify from that point to where you are right now and understand where you're failing. So you could be investing too much money in social media marketing or too much advertising. So your cash flow is you're depleting your cash flow. If your business had great growth, okay, so you need to measure your business in percentages. Okay, and it needs to be on paper. So if you've got a 20% growth per month or 30% per quarter, you need to identify these numbers. So in the next quarter, you got 15% growth. You need to understand, is it because we're in winter? Is it a summer drink? So there's a lot at play, and you've got to take the whole picture and identify, when I launched this product, was it summer, was it winter? Do people drink Vitas in winter? Do they drink it in summer? Do they put makeup on? And these are the things you need to understand and go back to when you started on the downscale and identify what created that downscale. That's what I would do.
Perfect.
I agree with him. I struggled. I have merch currently sitting in the factory stores, but we launched it in the peak of summer. So it was like long sleeved, long pants that didn't do very well. And now we're revisiting because now we're getting into winter. And now we have to redo the whole thing from the promotional material, kind of relaunch it again in the right season. So I think you do have to backtrack and see when it was doing well. Maybe it's something that's so small that you might be doing incorrectly, like a budget replacement, like he's saying now, that maybe you're putting too much in social media, or you're being too much, your manufacturer might find one that's actually more expensive or less expensive. You have to really look at the whole picture holistically and see what the issue is there. I don't think the first thing to do is just shut it down, because
Yeah.
I'm sure there are positives that have happened. Maybe you've already started, got brand awareness, your name is getting known around. You don't want to have to start all of that again. And I feel like once you clock a year in your business, just keep going. Like,
You're
just
locked
keep going.
in.
Because once that 1 year is
Yeah,
gone,
yeah.
just keep moving forward.
Yeah, be locked in, be locked in. Okay, look, Nadia and Costa are here. And don't forget, look, it's about asking the right questions. Who wants to ask a question? I'll start with a lady here, a young lady there. Get the mic to her. And don't forget, you stand up, you say what your name is, where you're from, and your question. You stand up, name, where you're from, and your question.
Hi, my name is Khothatso, and I'm from Pretoria, Colburn. I'm a third-year IT student. So my question is directed to Nadia, and I have two questions actually. So what gap in the beauty industry were you hoping to fill with your makeup brand?
What gap in the beauty industry you hoping to fill with your makeup brand?
I want to fill the gap of women that want to have that final finished professional look without having the skill to do that. For me, I want my... Thank you.
Come on, round of applause. Come on, guys. Why are we sleeping? That's a heavy bar.
Thank you. I feel like a lot of women that do makeup don't necessarily know how to do it, so you need products that can meet you halfway. Like for me, I feel like my products, especially my foundation, full coverage from the first layer. You don't need to know how to contour, how to beat your face, how to cake, how to do a whole bunch of things that my makeup artist does with my face for TV. You can really get the full experience and not necessarily have the full skill as a makeup artist would.
Thank you so much.
Right.
I have one more question for Mr. So how do you stay ahead of trends, especially with people being health cautious today?
That's for Costa.
Yeah.
How do you stay ahead of trends, especially people being health conscious today?
So what you do is you don't become complacent on your product range that you have out already. So you start from the time you've launched your product and it is successful. Now you're already in a certain sector. So we're in the retail sector. So now you start looking into manufacturing a product that can put you into a different sector. So for example, there's a product we're going to launch. It's called Max Hydration. It's an oral electrolyte. So it's for sportsmen, but that takes us directly into the pharmaceutical sector.
Yeah.
So you start categorizing your different products for different sectors, and that's how you start keeping your business flowing and going upwards.
And is that what you call niche audiences? And how important is niche audiences, a niche market into a brand?
It's not really niche. There's a need for all our category products in the market. For example, the water that you see in front, we don't promote the water.
Right.
It's just a difficult sale. But we will throw, so if we get into a pharmacy, for example, into a group for clicks for example,
Yes.
with our hydration sachet, while we're there and we build our confidence and our trust for them, then we will say, by the way, we've got this, and this. So all we're doing is, we're still focusing on our core product, which is Vita 24, but now we're increasing the basket. And what does increasing the basket do? Protects your range in store where they can't just throw you out, because they might, a big retailer might say, oh, we don't want the Vita, but then they'll say, but we can't get rid of this, or we can't get rid of that.
I hear that.
And it comes
I
from
hear
the
that.
same factory, and that's how you protect.
So you're creating the bait.
Correct.
And then getting them in. I like that.
True story, true story.
I like it. Nadia, is that all your questions, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
perfect.
Thank you. Thank
Do
you.
you have anyone else?
Next question.
Any takers? Okay, we're going to start with the one at the back and then come back here.
Right.
Okay.
My name is Anesu, and I'm from Johannesburg. I'm a second-year graphic design student, and my question is for both of the panelists. My question is, when it comes to starting a business, how much is branding a consideration, especially when you're trying to stand out amongst other brands?
When it comes to starting a business, especially when you're trying to stand out amongst other brands, how much is branding a consideration? Costa and then Nadia.
Branding is very important. As a graphic designer, every business needs a graphic designer to engage on your social media marketing, to engage on all your social media posts, and to create content. So creating content is the biggest trick for a graphic designer. And if you're good at creating content, you'll get work easily. But how important it is for the brand, it's very important. It creates awareness. And that's what we
Create
need.
awareness, definitely. And Nadia, how important is branding? Especially, she's doing graphic design, but it's platforms like Canvas and things like that. You know, so how important, and what will she do with that sort of path that she's taking as well?
I think it's extremely important, especially with my brand, which is in the beauty industry. It's so saturated that you want to be able to have a brand that kind of stands out, not kind of, fully stands out, and really conveys what your messaging is, what you want to achieve, as well as people to see the product. With me, it's a visual product. You can see the foundation on the artist, you can see the foundation on the model, on anything that I do, on my social media pages or in-store promo. I have to have graphic designers, and I have amazing graphic designers that actually help me unlock in a lot of different ways and to be able to promote my brand on social media. So I'm very appreciative of my graphic designers, because sometimes you forget how simple an image with just typography on it can go such a long way, and where you have to think about what color really draws people in. If you say 30% off in big, does it make it look like the brand is cheap, or does it look like, you know, so that stuff that really unlocked me on what my actual company CI is in every kind of communication that I'm doing with my brand.
Love that, love that.
So essentially what you're saying is Canva will not cut it, okay?
I don't even use Canva.
It won't cut it. It
I
will
know.
not cut it. And we have a question here in front.
Okay, good day, everyone.
Hi.
I don't know if I'm going to be offline, but I just wanted to solve a problem of the previous session of the woman was saying that if you're a new entrepreneur, where do you start from and where do you go and things like that? I'm one of the entrepreneurs as well who started from nothing. Today, I own a social media platform for entrepreneurs. It's an international social media. We've got companies all over the world that are in our social platform. Our social platform caters for everyone in the room here who's in entrepreneurship qualifies to be in our platform. So I was incubated by Innovation Hub. I was helped by CEDA. Remember Innovation Hub, I think they also funded Portia M. For her to be where she is now, she got funding from there. But with the incubation houses, you must first go through those workshops and everything. They teach you from scratch, from idea phase to prototype up to commercialization. So if you want to be part of those incubation houses, you can contact me after the show. And then Nadia, I do have a platform.
Well, I was waiting for the question. when is the question coming? What's the question?
Oh yes, no, I just wanted to ask Nadia, how long is her brand running for? And then how are you looking to promote it further? Because I can also help in doing that.
Well, shout out to you. You really pitched yourself, and I think that's amazing. So please give it up for her.
Yes, give it up.
Well done.
I think that is
Well done.
exactly what it is. When you're starting a business, you take every opportunity you can to promote yourself. And like in situations like this, it's to network and meet the right people. So shout out to you. You inspired me.
She said I'm the link.
Yeah. So this is the second year of Naked Without, but I had initially announced it probably like 3 years ago. And then I didn't release it for a full year because things just happened in my personal life that just derailed me. So then eventually I was like, okay, I'm ready, and this is what I'm doing. And now we're in the second year. And the things that I want to really look into promoting it further is more seeding. I think I haven't seeded my product enough to the right opinion leaders in my industry. A lot more workshops and a lot more expos like this. I feel like the master classes have been very successful when it comes to my brand. So I need to do a lot more master classes in everywhere, not just Johannesburg, but Durban, Cape Town, Bloemfontein, all over the country. Like the way I treat my music launches is the way that I need to treat my brand. So expansion, expansion, expansion.
All right. Any more questions? We've got 2 questions on there. I think we'll probably take 3 more and then we'll be done. What one is
Okay,
first?
so one day.
We got one there, we got one there, and one there.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe start where you're close,
Okay.
and then we go straight. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I go ahead? Me? Hello?
Hi.
Am I talking with someone? What's going on?
Sorry. Oh. I think you got the mic. Okay. Well, after her, you go on.
Hi everyone. My name is Pindilo Katane with a brand called Peachy Plum .rsa. I design and manufacture jewelry and body adornment. I'm currently supplying 7 stores. But my question is, so I want to elevate my brand further, right? And now the issue is, I'm not really one to show
Sorry,
my
please
face.
hold your mic properly. Can't hear you clear. Yes.
Is it better now? Awesome.
It's good.
So I want to elevate my brand more, but then the issue is I'm not one to show my face. And at the now we're having a situation where people want to see the face behind the brand, what you do, and stuff like that. So how do I balance not necessarily wanting to show my face and the fact that people actually want to see the face behind the brand?
So I'm actually the same, but in a different instance. I love showing my face, but for me with my brand, I need to separate myself from my brand so that people can purchase my brand even if you don't know me or like me. So I think brand ambassadorship is a good angle to look at. Find somebody that you think believes and has the same vision in your brand and have them be the face of your products. Because unfortunately, when it comes to clothing or jewelry or foundation, people want to hear from the person that created it because it's a creative industry and they want to know, they want someone to speak to, they want to connect with someone in order to connect with your product. It's become very social with the people that you're selling to now. Because remember, things have changed. Even the way we release music now is very interpersonal. There's no like third person anymore. There's no radio or TV. We can just put it on the internet and people are purchasing our stuff now. But they want to believe in someone. They want to believe in something. That's why a lot of these brands will put a brand ambassador in place if the owner doesn't necessarily want to be the one that's seen all the time or speaking all the time. But I think it is important to have somebody that can speak on your brand other than you, definitely.
But now my issue with that, I mean, I've thought about that. But the problem is, what happens if there's a problem between me and my brand ambassador? And then people know that face, and now if I bring in another face or I bring in my face, then it's like it's a different brand. How will I then manage the fact that someone has been the face of the brand, and then if anything should happen to that person or something happens in their personal lives that then affects my business, how will I then handle that?
So there's risks in everything. One, make sure that your contract with that brand ambassador is proper because you need to be able to picture yourself as a business and as a brand. But if something does happen in their personal life that they can't control, unfortunately we can't see the future. If we could, we wouldn't want to sign people and then something happens and then it affects your brand. It happens,
Sure.
but I think it's a risk that everything in business is a risk, to be honest. And if you are not willing to do it yourself, you can decide to do AI, doll. At the end of the day, people are
Right,
people.
safer.
We're humans. Things
Yeah.
happen. We get hurt. There's some controversy that can happen. It's life. But you don't want to stunt your growth because you're worried about your relationship turning sour. There's contracts that you put in place that protect you so that if it does go sour, there's a gag order. They can't say anything about your brand further. They can't talk badly about your brand on social media and interviews.
Gotcha.
Or you sue the living shit out of them. Sorry, they're kids here. Sue the living out of them. You know what I mean? There's ways that you can protect yourself as a business.
Awesome, thank you.
Definitely.
Or you can do AI. I don't know, Gail.
I
What do you
think
want?
AI is safer because,
Definitely. Costa, do you want to
It's a
add
lot.
other than that? Brand ambassadors. You have a brand ambassador. Oh, you're
I've got
good.
nothing
you're good.
more to say.
You're
I
good. Add
agree.
to that. Okay. There was a question there.
right there.
Hi there. I hope you're doing well. So me and my friend Cleo were both studying graphic design, and something that we are looking at, as we are graduating soon and so, is whether to go freelance or work at a company. So I'm just interested, and if you do freelance, you are really pushed to create your own identity. But how do you merge yourself with someone else's identity, such as a makeup brand or water brand? Is it better to work at a company or do freelance with your own strong identity?
Is it better to work as a company or freelance with your own sole identity?
Well, it's tricky because nobody knows you. So what content can you actually create? So you would need to possibly work at a company, build a portfolio on what you're capable of doing, and then if you see a vision that you prefer to go on your own because there is demand for your vision and how you portray products and categories, then do it. The downside is, the upside of working for a company, you focus purely on the brand, so you can create content till the cows come out. The downside is if you go on your own, you could end up not having a salary this month. So it is tricky. You got to build yourself, create a name. The only way you do that is you got to start off in corporate. Get yourself a job, create content, because now you're in the big world now. You've come out of what you've studied. Get into corporate, identify how they talk, so now you know the language as well, and what's expected. And then you could possibly go on your own. That's how I would say.
And internships play a big part, so try and apply for a lot of internships as much as possible, because at the end of the day, you can't have the experience if you don't try to get experience. So what you get at university is expired by the time you get into the marketplace, because things change. Literally Canvas yesterday, someone else has got a new platform. So what you need to do is to get internships in the workplace, so you're actually really in day-to-day work. So you get experience, you get, as Costa said, you get the lingo, you get contacts, and you have a net worth. Your network is your net worth. So it's so important when you're graduating to kind of think of that whilst you're at uni, to get internships and things like that. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Any other questions before we go? Any other questions? You've got one there, and you've got one there. Should we go?
She has a mic already, the lady next to her.
Go for it then.
Sorry, hi, I'm Said friend Cleo, and I just had something to add about the branding. She didn't want to be the face of your brand, and what you can actually do is just pivot the way that people perceive you in your brand. So if you think of like McDonald's or Nike, I'm not saying nobody's looking to see like who made that, People are there specifically for your product, so you just have to change the way that you're pushing your product out, so you don't have to be the actual face, and then you can have something on the side for people who are specifically looking for you, and then they can be like, okay, you have your set thing on where they can look at like, I don't know, your birthday or where you started, the things they want to see, but you can keep your life private and then still have your brand focus on the jewelry, I believe, body and adornments, I think you used, and then that would be the way. So you can always just pivot your branding, and that's where the graphic designers, we come into play to help you, but that's my 2 cents to that.
Yeah, that's good. Well done. It's very good. Okay, so who's next with the questions? So I've got one there and then her. Like we're gonna go straight to you straight away.
And then that's the last one.
And that's the last one will be there. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Babalolo Jam Jam, and I consider myself a makeup enthusiast. So I do all things beauty, and thank you. And I just completed my PhD last year in innovation from AFTA, right? And essentially, what they would do is teach us how to come up with business concepts. Everything for startups, right? But the main thing that we struggled with, and this question goes to both the panelists, we struggled with taking the business from concept to market. How do we do that? We understand that there's collaborations and so forth, but how do we get them? How do we access these people and so forth? Thanks.
Taking business from concept to market. Braga.
So for me personally, it was a networking exercise. I literally would go to people and knock on their doors. I have a team now that are actually graphic designers, but they do help me with getting my brand in the right places. So they're like knocking on Clix's door, they're knocking on Diskim's door, they're knocking on all these places where I can find a space on a shelf. It's not easy because like they're not gonna just take me because I'm known or whatever the case is. There's a lot of intrinsic things that go into it, and I can understand the difficulty of being able to bridge that gap. But I'm struggling with it as well. That's why for me, I'm staying online until the right opportunity comes about. But I think like certain things like this, where you get to meet the right people and get the right information, it goes a long way. And literally like going online and just finding these people, the marketing managers, the people that you can call and say, listen, I've got this product, can I come pitch it to you? Can I give you my deck? Can I send through my catalog? There's certain things that you can do in order to get these people's attention and be in the right places. But it is a lot where I'm learning a lot as I go. It's mad difficult.
Okay. So we have, I think, is the final question?
Well, that's the
one,
second
and then the
last,
final
and then
one,
the
and we're
last
done. Let's go.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Nomakwezi August, a Boston media student for public relations. So my question is actually to both of you. It wants to know that from your perspective, what's the most important key in running a successful business and reaching the target and keeping the standards? Because as much as we start these businesses, it's hard to keep the target and to actually keep the market and get to the people that you need to get to that can actually elevate your business from nothing to something. Thank you very much.
How do you run a successful business, keep the target, and make sure it keeps being successful?
Well, what is the target? You need to take baby steps, which keeps you motivated. So don't make the target 5 million customers in month 1. Make the target that's approachable, which keeps you in the game. Once you reach that target, then you just up it a little bit, and so you carry on.
Bless you.
You know, bless you. So, yeah, that would be my advice. Take baby steps. You need to put ego aside. Believe you me, I've had some difficult situations, and identify your strengths. If your strength is manufacturing, stay in manufacturing. Let somebody else do retail. Let somebody else do the listings for you for the lady that had a problem. There's companies out there that specifically take products and go list.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to put them on a target and say, no, you're going to make the 5 million for me a month. It's all about you as the owner of the business. So it is like that. Take baby steps, put ego aside, put the work, put the hard work into your business. You're passionate about your business, passionate about your brand, and that's how you'll get your brand to where you need to get to. You're not a logistics company, so stay out of logistics, but make sure when you're launching a product, make sure you got enough margin in your product that can accommodate for logistics, distribution, retail, rebates. These are all factors that new manufacturers don't understand. And if you don't have the margin, you also can't work for 5%. Do you understand? If that's what your bottom line is, you'd rather close your door down. You know, you got to work for a proper margin if your product's good, and you got to make sure you've allocated your price point that can accommodate the rebates, the distribution, the logistics, and obviously your cost to production.
Definitely. And I think one thing you said that was important is kill your ego. Kill your ego. I think ego is a big thing that leads to business failure. You have the humility you need to build a business to the 6 figures. It's very, very important. Should we take a final question? We should have final question. Final question, keep it sweet, short. It's been an amazing panel, so go for it. There you go.
Yes, sir. My name is Emmanuel Moahi. I go by the stage name of Jay Folly. I'm an entertainer as a whole. With the fact of myself being seen as a very, very talented person, not just in myself in music, but all forms of entertainment. I've always been trying to actually get the most important thing to actually push my capabilities, not just my works, but everything I can do out so that I can achieve the goals that I want, which is to be great or to be noticed as one of the greats, not just in our country, but on this planet. But the only thing that has always been pushing me back is just the fact that I'm a South African that's not going with the mother tongue so well. But I've been noticed as the artist that's been doing amazing music. I've had auditions in Santon that's been taking me saying, you are very great. You don't even need to do second or third auditions. We want you now to take you to Los Angeles. I've been getting emails from America at Coast to Coast. It's an entertainment area that actually takes you in New York City and Las Vegas. I've been getting it for the past 3 months, but I just can't get there because of my financial situation not being able to give me, the flight pass practically. And then when it comes to entertainment itself, I was noticed by the area in Santon, I forgot the name of it, and I have an individual who was an actor in The River. He goes by the name of Presley Triniwachai, or I think they call him Cobra, practically as the nickname. He heard one of my songs and he said, I'm very amazing, I should go big. Another example is a man like Kuli Chan. He said, my music is amazing. All I have to do is just better my stage presence, which is something I proved upon and improved upon. And he says, okay, but I can't assist you because he has an artist that he's working with. But everywhere that I try to work and grow myself, I've always just been the person pushed aside just because of the fact that I'm speaking English. So is there any way that I can try to obtain assistance, not just from my manager who can't really, and grow myself as an image or as an artist or as an entertainer as a whole? Because I'm noticed in acting, in dancing, in music, in songwriting, and in modeling as a whole. Thank you.
I think we have the business of entertainment panel to the plane coming soon. What I'd say to you, I mean, just quickly before maybe because it's the last leg, what I'll say to you is you are living in an era where there are kids that are going on Twitch and making millions a week, all right? So they're no longer the days that people could say gatekeepers are coming to you. You know, when you have talent, you have to have energy, and laziness has to go out the window. And you have to find those opportunities to get the audience. Demand, supply, demand. So if you're able to entertain, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. Now, if you just post your picture and say, post your single and say, oh, listen to my single, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying you need to, you say you're an entertainer. Entertain. You know, there's people that literally are doing comedy, etc. So we just keep it brief because we're finishing, but there's going to be another panel, right? Another panel is coming because it's going to be the business of entertainment in South Africa, that you can talk to the panelists about the same thing and really explore that subject. Did you want to add something to that?
Can I just add one thing?
Go on.
Saying you don't have the money to go to America is an excuse. If somebody had to tell me, Costa, go to America tomorrow, I would fundraise. I'd put up a little show where I'd sing, because you're a good singer, dancer, actor, and invite people for $50, $100. Put a target to what you're doing, achieve that target, get to America. If that's where your money is,
there you go.
Get to America.
There you
Not
go.
having money is just an excuse.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a round of applause to Nadia and Costa. Come on, Nadia Nakai and Costa from VooVix 24. And don't forget, Braga is just around the corner. It's right there. So go and check it out. Braga Cosmetics. And what's the website again? Well, for Braga Cosmetics, what's the website?
So it's nakedwithout.co.za.
Okay, and
Yes.
VooVix 24, where can we get that from?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. That's what I like
You're
to
welcome
hear.
to come to the stand, help yourselves to a cold
There you
beverage.
go. And the stand is just
They
there,
are complimentary, guys. Come to the stand, help yourselves.
Come to the stand for
ask
complimentary
questions.
VooVix 24.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't say that. You said that. So they should all go for complimentary VooVix 24s. So guys, we're going to have a break now. And as Costa said, Costa, you said that. So don't look at me like that.
Yeah.
You guys go for complimentary
help
VooVix
yourself,
24s. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys in the next 30 minutes for the next panel. Give it up for Nadia and Costa. Fantastic.